All right. Hello, everyone. Kind of a channel update. Let me just give it to you quick and fast why there was no video Sunday and there's not going to be a video Monday. Insomnia kicked my ass basically this weekend. Um, I had videos recorded. I had that video for Pokopia recorded Saturday, like back on Thursday. So yeah, I haven't played any games since then, but because um, yeah, I've gotten 8 hours of sleep in the last 48 hours, and I usually have a lot more than that, like way more than that. So, just giving it straight up, there's not going to be a video uh, Monday morning. I'll be recording one Monday. As soon as I finish this and get this uploaded, I'm going to bed. I'm taking a pill to help me, and I'm going to bed, and I will be going to work tomorrow. And then I'll come back, make a video, and have it ready for y'all tomorrow morning. It is going to be Pocopia again because I do want to get back to it. Um, the other thing I wanted to say, I'm not sure what else I'm going to do for at least this coming week. It will be Pocopia. After that, I'm not sure. I want to go back to Icarus, even though I didn't have a really great time with Tier 5. I still want to go back. We're not going to be going to Prometheus. If I do that, we're not going to be going to Prometheus because everything's basically gone. I still have my gear and stuff, so I could just build it up again. But I kind of do want to move on to the Elysium map and mess around on it. So I think we're going to just straight up move to Elysium map, the new map. Um, it's just going to take a while. I'm not sure. I think I might do up until I get get back up to where I am right now. I don't know if I would maybe titanium tools and stuff. I might do like the videos as here's what's happening at this point, and then stop. And they may be like short 30 minutes videos for all I know. I'm not totally sure how I want to do that because I don't want y'all to watch me just build back up again a third time and but whatever. So yeah, that's my thought process right this second. I don't know. Diablo 2 just really just I just don't want to play right now. I'm just not thinking about it at all as wanting something to I'm wanting to play. So that's going to back burner. uh Terraria just really fell off for me. I don't know what it is. I just have no interest whatsoever going back into it. It may be on hold until 1.4.5 of the mod loader is updated and we can use mods on it. I don't know. I might get the urge to play again one day. It's just completely gone from me right now. And that's pretty much it. Um Let me say that like I said, I haven't been paying attention to anything lately because of my insomnia. I've just been focusing on one thing and completely ignoring all other things. So I have no idea what's going on news wise for the games I usually play. So I don't know if like there's a big update coming. I know Project Zomboid got updated. That's about all I know. Um Let's see. Let me think about it. Enshrouded might be interesting to play again. I don't know if I will, but it might be interesting to play again. I played a little bit during the water update, but I didn't really do anything else. Um, there was something else. Oh, right. Surrounded has their update is not live. It's on the experimental branch for testing, and they haven't like done anything since then. They just put the zero point 0.8 patch up on experimental for testing, and it's been up there since February 7th, and no news since. So I have no idea what the update like you know is going to do for the game or anything like that. I read the patch notes and things, but they say they want to leave a lot for you to explore, so I actually have no idea. I don't know if we were talking about the end of my last series. Sorry, I'm just really tired. I'm trying to organize my thoughts. Um, I was saying at the end of the last series, what if in the future when we do the next series, what if we do just the underground train tunnels and stuff like that only? If I just make a character, get them there to a point where we can head into the underground tunnels and then just never ever leave it. And then they released a note saying they were going to work on those. I don't know if that's part of that update or not because they didn't say. They could be part of that update. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, I guess. And even then, if I don't know if I would know or not because we've never been down into the tunnels at all. We never went through the system at all. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we ever went through the system. But yeah, those are the only things I can think of right this second. Like I said, I'm just out of it right now. I could do a couple of episodes of Slay the Spire 2. I've only ever played it once since it's released into early access. Playing the Ironclad once, lost in the second act. Haven't touched it since. But when I did that, I did unlock my pretty much my favorite class, which is Silent. So bit of kind of interesting doing that. Um, we do have Guild Wars 2 with the Elementalist we were playing, but for something like that, that would be a weekend only thing anyway. I'm trying to think of something as a full series for the week. Um, I could just completely, totally focus on Pocopia. Um, 7 Days to Die, I'm pretty much just done with that game, and probably until either one of two things happens. One is Undead Legacy is either updated to the new version. If I last remember my looking on that, Undead Legacy by Subquake has locked in that it will be a version 2.4 version of the game that you will be playing with. He says he couldn't he they say, I don't know if they're a man or woman, so they say that if they were tried to update past 2.4, it would at least push it back another year, and they did not want that. They're hoping they're hoping to have the game out, the update out sometime this year is our best guess at this point. So if they updated past the 2.4 version of the game, they said they would never get it out because they couldn't update the. It would be really tough to update anything after that without doing like a lot more. So either Undead Legacy new version for 2.4 version of 7 Days to Die is released, or 7 Days to Die version 3.0 is released. That's the next major version I would probably play, unless they. I don't think I would play anything earlier than that because 7 Days to Die is in a really weird place and it is at in the last little while. Um, the game devs like took offense of like have start we're really starting to take offense at how the community was wanting things done. I mean, they seriously blamed the community for things, and because they took away jars, everyone was upset with that. So they put jars back in, but said now we got to push back an update because we had to put jars back in, and they blamed the community on that. And that's just a PR nightmare. You never ever blame your community for something like that. I'm pretty sure they learned their lesson on that one because they also focused on this whole Blood Moons thing. That's dead now. They just released, if you go to the Blood Moons Steam webpage, they've actually released a pretty much a statement on that game that it is dead. There will never be an update again for it. It will never be released out of early access, and you can still purchase it for like $30. And yeah, they really dropped the ball within the last year But they did do some good things. I'm not going to lie. They did do some good things with their latest update of 2.5. That's the version you saw me just play a little bit ago. Uh, with the mods and everything. Um, the Smorgasbord mod pack. That was version 2.5. So they did do a lot of good things during that patch for sure. They seem to be heading in the proper direction again, I guess you could say, for 3.0. Um, a lot of people are very upset with their magazine system, so they say they're going to start putting in a little bit of a learn by doing system, kind of like a hybrid system. That's supposed to be in 3.0. I have no idea if it will be, but that is supposed to be in 3.0. The other major feature they've talked about for 3.0 so far, and this is just teasers, is they're going to be completely changing the sandbox settings of the game to let you have more control over the game. Uh, loot settings for various loot boxes and stuff like that. You can control all of that in the game. So we'll have to see how they're going to do that. They say they're going to completely overhaul those things for the sandbox settings of the game. So we'll see how that goes. Um, and stuff like that. So that's my thought process on 7 Days to Die right now. Let me see if there's any other games I can think of. Uh, nobody's asked anything about Story of Season, so I guess it's a good thing I dropped that. Nobody cared. Um, even though I liked it. Whatever. Project Zomboid is kind of in a weird state right now. They just released like point 14 of the 42 beta, not 14, 15 of the 42 beta, like hotfix 2 for it or something like that. Um, they released like the point 15 update like gave you new guns, firearms and stuff. They completely changed the sandbox settings for Apocalypse to be more in line with what they want their canon a version of settings to be for Apocalypse mode. And they changed the other modes to be called different things. Um, like I think there's a there's a settings you can have called extinction, if I'm not mistaken, which I think adds sprinters as a base thing now. Um, that you can choose that set of settings for having sprinters show up. I think they also put in that version that the zombies have a like 1 to 5% chance of being a type of zombie that can open doors, unlock them, and use them. No, I don't think they can unlock them. I think they can only use them. I don't think they can unlock them. If they can unlock them, that would be even worse. But that's all I can think there. And also, mods are in a pretty, I want to say, a little bit of a rough spot right now of what works and what doesn't. They're not as bad as like point 13 version of the Unstable was, but they're still in a pretty rough spot right now. Um, Ark, Ark Survival Ascended. I have just no interest in playing right now. They released that. Um, what was that DLC map deal? They released that. I have no the Lost Colony. I think it's called. I have no desire to play it right now. They did a big update to the Astrosios, whatever the Greek map, um, and stuff like that. Uh, Oh, right. I never said what happened there, did I? Okay. Valheim has been put off pretty much indefinitely right now, unfortunately. I don't know. I think I said something about this at one point. I want to say I did, but I could be totally wrong. Valheim had an issue. So if you remember, we were doing mods. I was doing those kind of mod things of adding magic to the game so I could use it early on using magic mods, and a lot of them were fun and things. And then I said the last thing I wanted to test was having two different types of magic mods: the necromancy mod and the other mod, which I forgot off the top of my head right now. I'm sorry, I'm just so exhausted. But I was going to see about combining those two to see if they worked, and they worked for a while. I don't know what happened. It could not even be related to those. But all of a sudden, I logged off one night, and then I went to work the next morning. I came home and I started playing again. I'd logged in to start playing again. And as soon as I logged in, my character was, you know how you log in, your character is like either on the bed or next to it. My character was in the bed. Half of the upper half of their torso could be seen. They were like halfway into the ground, and the camera was going crazy. And what I mean by it's going crazy, it was just shaking everywhere. It would just randomly switch which direction it would facing, like really quickly. It would do like a 180 all the time. It didn't do it. It didn't do a spin around. It did a 180. It just looked one way and then turned and looked the other and just did it back and forth all the time. I could never get it to stop. I tried various things. I tried killing my character with the suicide console command. It worked if I did it like 5 times, but when I respawned back at the back at the deal back at it was supposed to be a spawn reset as well. It was supposed to spawn me back at the where you first drop in, but when it loaded my character, when after I died and the countdown happened and it loaded my character back in, I was in the same. I wasn't in the same spot. I was back at the new. I was back at the base game spawn, but my character was doing the same thing. Bottom half of its body was missing, and the camera was just shaking in the 180 degrees. I don't know why, and I never could figure it out what happened with that at all. I do not know. The game did not get updated or anything. I did update a couple of mods, I think, but none of the magic mods were updated, so I'm pretty sure it wasn't those. I have no idea what it was. It's just all of a sudden the character just bugged out. I did do one thing. I made a brand new character to log into that world, and it was all good. But the next damn day that I logged in, it was the same fucking thing with that brand new character. I have no idea. I have no idea what that was and why that happened. So I just got immediately turned off, and I haven't been back in Valheim since at all. I have no idea what that was whatsoever. Uh, I am waiting to see what the next No Man's Sky update is. I had no feelings whatsoever about their last update. It just wasn't appealing to me, so I completely ignored it. It was that waste update where they made one of their, I think it's the Colossus. They did an update for the Colossus, and you could do like waste management and stuff like that or whatever it was. I after I read just a little bit, I completely lost interest and I never went back to look and see what all was in it. It just didn't appeal to me at all. Just completely overshot me. Um, Power World, I don't know. I may play the game again when 1.0 drops, but definitely not for a while. Um, I've been really thinking about playing Surviving Mars relaunch, but I've just never found the time. But that's about it. There isn't really anything else off the top of my head that I can think of. Uh, I've been trying every now and then to get back into Stardew Valley. I just, yeah, it's just still not interested in playing long term, I guess. So yeah, but I just wanted to give y'all an update. Why there was nothing Sunday except for this video, and there's nothing going to be Monday morning, Tuesday morning, unless something goes really really wrong. I should be back. I should have a video for y'all. And it will be Pokopia, at least for this week. After this week, I don't know. It could be Pokopia still. Or it could be Icarus. It just depends on where I feel I want to do and what's going to happen with this coming week's update. They did do some updates last Thursday for the game after the DLC released. And they were pretty nice what they changed and stuff like that. I just want to see if they do anything else, you know. I want to at least give it another week. And if I think they're going in a good direction, I might go ahead and play. If I'm still kind of iffy, I might put it off another week. But we'll definitely be getting back to Icarus for sure with the Elysium map. I want to try it out, you know, stuff like that. I'm kind of had fun. I have really good fun time with Icarus, and I want to play it again. So even though I was disappointed with how the DLC and the DLC fine, you know, but I was really disappointed mainly with the tier 5. So, yeah. So, I will see y'all later. Um I'm going to go to bed. So, y'all have a good night, whatever time it is in y'all's part of the world.